Unified Media Dropping Gems podcast. Let's get it.
Unified Media Podcast, Family and Foundation, Season 4, Episode 4. We begin this episode with touching base on this specific topics. What does family mean to you? The structure of foundation, maintaining strong relationships, and the nature of responsibilities. Like and share this video to those who will find this information useful. Tune into the show once a week, every Sunday, a little after 8 p.m. Eastern Time, live on YouTube, where we have raw, uncut, open discussions that can range with insightful and educational information across the board. Other episodes will include past and current events, trending topics, conspiracy, and personal journey, and so much more. We also invite special guests to shed light on who they are and what professional industry they are in. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, email droppinggemspodcasting@gmail.com with your name, business, industry, social media info, and brief bio. Hosted by yours truly, JL The Truth and ONTL The Warn. Support the show by subscribing to the channel and hitting the notification bell. Aki, we are here.
Yes, sir. We are here live. Ooh, we already on episode 4.
Already on episode 4.
Like we just started the season.
We damn near just started this season, but we work diligently and try to be as consistent as we can every Sunday with our episodes. And unless it's the holidays, then we give it a break. But I wanted to before we get into family and foundation and those specific key topics, I saw something on Instagram that caught my attention. And as somebody who advocates for both the quality of AI and technology, but also the downfall of what that can look like, someone asked ChatGPT the top 10 things humanity should know. Ooh. And here it goes from 1 to 10. Number 1, you are being tracked constantly. Every phone, app, browser, and smart device feeds data into corporate and government surveillance systems. Even private modes aren't private. Most people have no idea how deep the rabbit hole goes. 2, food is engineered to keep you addicted and sick. Ultra-processed foods are intentionally designed to bypass your satiety signals and create repeat customers. The rise in obesity, diabetes, and chronic illnesses isn't just a coincidence. It's a business model. Ooh. 3, the internet is being sanitized and controlled. What you see online is increasingly filtered by algorithms that are tuned for engagement, not truth. Shadow banning, content suppression, and narrative shaping are real and quietly normalized. 4, money is created out of thin air. Banks don't just store money, they create it through debt. Every time a loan is issued, money is literally fabricated. Most people still believe there's some vault somewhere with real cash. There isn't. 5, modern medicine often treats symptoms, not causes. The healthcare system is largely reactive, not preventive. Pharmaceutical lobbying has more influence on what treatments are promoted than actual patient outcomes. Root causes like diet, environment, and stress are all underaddressed. 6, most history taught in schools is sanitized or incomplete. Textbooks often reflect the politics of those in power, not the full truth. From colonism to covert operations, much of modern geopolitics is built on omitted or distorted history. 7, the digital divide is widening. AI, automation, and digital infrastructure are growing faster than society is adapting. Those without access to these tools or skills will be left economically and politically voiceless. 8, space isn't as far away as you think. The Kármán line, the accepted edge of space, is only about 62 miles up. We live in a thin crust of atmosphere that is terrifyingly fragile, yet we treat it like it's a garbage bin. Number 9, synthetic biology and gene editing are advancing quietly. CRISP, PR, murder tech and gene drives are progressing fast, much faster than regulation or ethical discussion. We're rewriting life, and most people don't even know what's being tested. 10. Economic collapse is always closer than it looks. Every economy runs on confidence. Once that cracks, whether from debt, war, banking instability, or black swan events, the illusion of stability vanishes fast. Think 2008, but much faster and more global. Wow. Wow. Chat GBT gave it to you raw. Wow.
Oh, wow.
What can you take from that? Scary.
No, that
Scary.
definitely is a you know fearful thing to think about. It definitely brings upon a little bit of anxiety, considering. Excuse me.
Bless.
Thank you. Considering all of what was said and if you actually think about it, I mean, going into a rabbit hole of knowing that everything we do on the internet is being tracked and is being stored, what I'm saying? And the question always arouses as to why must we be, monitored in this way, right? Um, then you think about uh yeah, the space thing really had me like 62 miles.
62 miles up, Aki. That's all it is.
Do
That's
do do, do you know how like if you really think, do you know 62 miles is me driving from my house here to my cousin's house in San Bernardino, bro? Like it's not that far. It's
which,
not
which,
that
which,
far.
big game, Aki, which makes you wonder that when you look up in the sky and you see the clouds, if the clouds wasn't there, we would probably see fucking atmosphere. The line.
No, you can't. You can, bro. You can, bro. That's why it trips me out, because you look at if you look at it, it's like, yeah, you won't be able to see anything small in that view, but anything that's big from that type of mileage, you'll be able to see that. I mean, anything that's very, very huge, which is why they say that they be putting in manufacturing clouds, because some of the things that be in space and orbiting in space, we'll be able to see it from a bird. I mean, basically see it from a naked eye right here on Earth because of how close it is. Like that's far, but that's not close. Like basically what I'm saying is that distance, that's that type of distance. It would take me an hour to drive from my house to my cousin's house with that same distance, meaning that it takes if we can drive at that speed going up to the gravity, it would take you an hour just to get to space.
What's even more powerful is how close is all the other planets.
Right. They're closer than really people think. That's why you feel the sun the way it is, because I feel like the sun is close too. You know what I'm saying? Like the way we're
not the only intelligence utilizing the sun.
If the sun is for the whole universe, so that means it's everybody who is in this universe.
Powerful stuff, Aki. Powerful stuff. Now, today's episode is family and foundation, right? And I said in the context of that, I said, what did I say? I said, what does family mean to you? The structure of foundation, maintaining strong relationships, and the nature of responsibilities. Let's start with, what does family mean to you?
Man, family is a foundation. Honestly speaking, family is the foundation, because see,
I like that.
What it means, that's what it means to me. What it means to me is that we're our first line of defense, our first line of offense, right? We pretty much are we're pretty much together as a unit. We're a team. Everything we're counting on each other to be able to watch each other's backs and to be able to get to the next stage. Like in Squid Games. You know what I mean? Like you have to learn to work together and trust each other. That's the main focus when it comes down to family, and especially when it comes down to your family, immediate family in your household. Now, family as a, you know, as the extended ones is definitely still important as well, because they're the second line and third line of defense, and things that you can, you know, call upon and trust in. But your first line of defense, your family, is the one that you live in the house with. You know what I mean? And that is the key and important thing, and that's what family means to me.
I love that, Aki. And I'm gonna take Art of War key points. I'm gonna take some from that because you reminded me of something.
Mm.
You mentioned family as the foundation and as something as a line of the first line of offense and defense, which remind me of battles and which remind me of wars. In the book, and this is what I'm gonna be doing all episode, by the way, team. In the book, Art of War, it says these are the key points: understanding your strengths and weaknesses, as well as those of your opponent. Avoid head-on battles and utilize flexibility and adaptability in your strategies. The goal is not just winning battles, but achieving victory without fighting through careful planning and deception. So it's not even about winning the war in the battle physically. It's to win the war in the battle through strategic forms of careful planning and deception. If I ask you, Aki, first line of offense and defense is the family and foundation. How do you win the war of monetization if you're not fighting for money, but you're planning to make money? How do you utilize the family in the way where you're not fighting for money, but you're planning on making money?
That's a good question.
I'm telling you, it's gonna be one of them episodes, Aki. It's gonna be one of them episodes. Because you know there are people right now in this world that tell us, I'm broke. I can't afford. I don't own enough. I owe all my money to school debt. I owe my money to lenders, to the bank, to this, to that. I don't got enough for this, to that. Those are the ones fighting for money. But the ones making money are the 1%. The 6, 7, 8-figure earners. What are they doing different to make money and not survive to fight for money?
As you stated, there's strategically planning and creatively executing on that plan. And what that may look like to them may look like a family business of finances, a family business of gym fitness, a family business of entertainment. That would be kind of like the thing that would be the family creating instead of fighting for the money, but if they'll be creating the money.
And how would you utilize your family in such a way to not fight and create? What would be your go-to form of business for your entire family? What would that look like if you knew you can create a business that would thrive and make 6, 7, 8 figures to be able to leave to your foundation and your children for them to maintain?
It probably would be like the psychological effects of children, like, you know, seeing how different environments shape their minds. You know what I'm saying? Children that like to explore versus children that are stuck on technology. I'll probably me and my family, you know, will definitely, all of us will want to travel. You know what I'm saying? So if given the opportunity right now to really like take a trip to go to a different country or a different place and explore it for a week, that would be something that I feel like me and my family would be able to, keep in a way, because we have some pretty creative minds in this family.
Amazing, amazing. Um, I'm gonna answer the importance of family. For me, family is the root of it all. Um, the stability that you create for the family um, is important. Through stability, you can create a level of formality in a way where your children can conform to becoming the best versions of themselves because you've created a space for them that is relatively safe to be
Mm-hmm.
able to to be able to prosper, to be able to focus, to be able to adjust, to be able to advance. When I was in New Jersey, it was chaos. We lived in a one-bedroom apartment. The minute I moved, I bought a home, and we had more space. Through having more space, you're able to flex. You're able to stretch yourself. You're able to see things in front of you, beside you, behind you, more fluidly.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also created comfortability for them, but not to be complacent, not to be comfortable and complacent, but to be comfortable, to be able to see everything in front of them that they want to accomplish. And now both my boys are thriving, which I'm forever grateful for.
Praise
Uh,
God.
Obviously, beyond those blessings, there's small discrepancies that I need to work on, past traumas and things that I need to heal from, that my wife needs to heal from, that are very difficult um, to overcome, right? Those trials, those circumstances, those experiences. But I even went as far as considering, not even considering, well, considering, but doing, and took on marriage counseling. I take on marriage counseling once every 2 weeks.
Good.
And it's been beneficial to my healing process, and to be able to communicate as the key to get to the root of all the issues we may or may not have, um, has been a powerful, powerful, powerful thing for us. And
That's dope. That's dope.
yeah, it's my heart and my mind is currently grateful. Currently grateful. I'm grateful for my family. I'm grateful for the extension of my family, my immediate family. I'm grateful for my friendships that I have with gentlemen like yourselves. I'm grateful for the community I've built. I'm grateful for my hardships. Um, I'm grateful for it all. Uh, yeah,
Hey man,
yeah.
that's what's up, man. You see, family is just that thing, and family ain't always your bloodline. It's like you said, you created a community, but in a way that is your family, because everyone is working on communicating with each other, sharing love with one another, helping another get to that level, becoming successful together. That is a true family right there. It ain't always your immediate family within your household. It could be a group of strangers or friends that come together, and that you've been side by side with, who can execute in on a plan that has stuck by you and been loyal and with respect the whole time.
Mm, love that.
Welcome in,
Uh,
sir. Welcome in.
Welcome in, sir. Thank you for being here, brother. I was asking on TL DeWarn, um, what is the importance? What does family mean to survival?
That's good. Family. Family is the people that you can trust. Family is the people you can build with. Family are the people that bring the best out of you. They can also bring out the worst in you, because family are the same people that know your history. They know what irks your nerves. They're actually the ones that set you up for the real world. A lot of us really think about it. When you really think about it, family shows you what's really out there before you get out there. When you get to the job, like, man, these people fucking with me. Da 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 da. Realize this is something that your cousins was doing with you way before when. So now it's kind of like it's giving you something. It's setting you up before you step out into the real world. When it comes to your mother, when it comes to your father, these are people that you know that have motherly skills. These people are the ones that's preparing you. They're slowly giving you some type of guidelines, even though it's not fully like understandable at the time when you're growing up and growing into it. But these are your teachers. They're like your mentors. For me, family is the people that I'm always going to run to when I need it the most. If I need that help, that moral support, especially like it's June. June is men's mental health. This is men's mental health awareness month. And this is most of the time where I would say, like, I'm gonna check in with brothers like yourselves, because you all are my family. And I check in on you guys just to see, like, where's your head at? Like, how you all feeling being fathers? Like, I know, like, for men, people don't know. Like, just like how women go through shit, men go through shit too. We had to bear the weight of everything on our shoulders, because what is our job, gentlemen? Our job is to do what? Provide, protect. And that is a hard notion to do, because in the midst of it all, you're not meant to cry, right? You can't be sensitive. You become sensitive, it means you're weak, or however people want to go ahead and mold you. But that's something that you have to bear on your shoulders every single day. When you go to work, when you come back, it's always something. And it's like, that's the way how reality is set in for us. So it's like, when do you get a chance to breathe? When you get a chance to relax. So yeah, when it comes to family, family is always going to be my people that I can always trust whenever it comes to like situations like that.
I love that, man. And two of the points that I can take from that is the trusting aspect. Yeah. Right. Because trust is very, very key. Obviously, respect as well. And when you mentioned their family should be able to, or is able to, pull the best out of you, or the worst out of you. Right. They know how to do it. They know how to press that button to pull the other side of you, and they should be able to help guide you in a way where, you know, they can uplift you. What's funny about my family is that, unfortunately and fortunately, I'm the black sheep.
Yeah.
Which means that I don't have the privilege of stating that my family pushes me to be better. And the reason why that is, outside of my household, of course, but the reason why that is because my family is complacent and content with what they have.
Yeah.
They don't know how to reach for more. They don't know how to manage their time to be proactive and progressive.
Yeah.
I am somebody who seeks legacy for foundation. And we're going to go right into it. The structure of my foundation, the premise, and what keeps my beams up, for me, is going to be legacy. It's going to be legacy. It's going to be wealth. And through legacy and wealth, my values and principles and morals are going to be confined within the layers of those businesses and things that I have structurally created for my two sons. Because I'm a man of principle. I'm a man of morals. I'm a man of values. Um, I'm not a man who wants to cut corners or cut throat in a line of business, friendship, or family. I'm not one to want to step on your neck, step on your toes to get where I go. I'm a man who is going to get where I want to go and find the room to bring you up with me, and not be deterred, not be defensive, not be jealous or envious of the next man's success.
Yeah.
I'm focused on my foundation. And that's the structure of what I want to build in my kingdom for my two boys to take over the throne. That's what I foresee. And going with you, Aki, what are your two pillars that you stand on, and then what would those key points be under those two pillars for foundation?
It would be Yahweh and culture, you know what I'm saying? Knowing who you are, knowing what you're here for, your purpose, you know what I'm saying, your desire and the ability to execute it, right? that is one that I definitely leave from my sons, and that's legacy, that falls underneath the legacy value. You know what I mean? That's definitely has something to do with that. So that'll be it. And then another one would be more like the importance of, work ethic. I would say work ethic, teaching my sons and my legacy to be, we there's times where we don't want to do stuff. There's times where we don't want to, take this out, or do this one thing, look at this thing, do a little study and do a little reading, or whatever the case may be. I pride my household in the fact that everybody wants to read. Reading has been one of the things that I make sure that we as a family, take hold to very strongly, and understand the importance of reading, because the one it is the only thing that helps the muscle of your mind expand when it really comes to your ability to talk and hear. Because one thing when I was talking with my dad before, and I didn't realize, is people who lose their ability to hear sometimes lose their ability to think. You don't hear anything, so you don't have anything to think about, because you don't hear anything. And so I always wanted to make sure that my children had the ability to be able to read, and that we always have to read. Like we're signed up with the with the local library for a challenge where we have 2 weeks to read the books that we got, that they had out for free. That once we finished all of those books in the 2 weeks and things like that, and we return them, they give us little coupons and gift cards and stuff like that to certain little local areas and restaurants and stuff like that, for participating in the reading challenge. But the whole idea of the reading challenge is to go ahead and, challenge your mind to be able to read and expand. And then, it helps you with your vocabulary and your ability to actually express yourself, to be able to say what you're thinking, to be able to, say it in a manner where someone can understand or receive it in a way that they can take it and utilize it for themselves. So those would be my two things when it comes to it. And what was your other question?
After those two pillars for the structure of your foundation, what are some of the key points under that?
Like I said, reading would be one of the main key points about that. discipline is a mighty factor that, I find as being a father and being a leader of the household, that, once I display the proper amount of discipline and the work ethic of, doing things that needs to be done, then the family definitely follows. Everything is weighted on the father when you're in the household, because when they see and know that dad can do it, then everyone else does. Like my children, they definitely know how to clean up. Even and these are 1 and 2 year old babies. They know how to clean up. My son, he's potty training right now, so after he uses the bathroom, he knows to wash his hands. He knows how to go and grab his stool thing, put it up against the counter, stand on top of it to wash his hands. Once he gets done, goes and dries his hands. Right. You know what I'm saying? That type of thing is I'm happy to see that. He knows how to open a refrigerator, goes and get his own piece of fruit, you know what I'm saying, and then peels his orange and eats it by himself. And he's only 2, about to be 3 years old. You know what I'm saying? And he's talking more. These are key things that we do in the household that I look for. What else? Um Family time, planning night, the thing, trying to have time and get to know each other, or get to say stuff to, explain about each other's days, what we like, what we don't like, reference what's going on in the world, right, in the current events that's going on, what to do in these type of situations, what to look out for, why we can't do certain things, why we're doing going that this way, different things that are, to protect us, to protect ourselves, and getting everyone used to, that as a family we protect each other, so we try not to do things that will cause harm or bring harm towards the family, from our own doings and things like that. So those are some of the things that I pretty much look
Love it.
for and value.
Love it. Lead by example. Read
Mhm.
some books. Family activities. Powerful traits under one household. Um, Survival. Same thing. What are your two strong pillars for the foundation of your home for family? And then under those two pillars, what are some of your key points?
Hmm. I do believe that one of my one thing I want family to be under is discipline. Discipline is most definitely something that's needed in the household. That's something definitely want from my wife, especially like it takes a mother to raise a home. It's one thing for a man to go ahead and provide for his family, but it takes a mother to go ahead and like turn a house into a home, as they say.
Mm,
Mine is always going to be discipline because you need that. That is going to be a strong foundation for everything that you do. Can you, if let's say for instance, we learned this long time ago, can you fix your bed for 90 days? Let's say for instance, when you all get up out of bed, can you fix your bed for 90 days? I mean, like every single time you get and go to work, I don't care what it is that you got to do to rush up out of there. Can you be disciplined enough just to fix your bed for 90 days? And that's something that I know for a fact my wife can really turn in for the structure for our kids. So discipline is most definitely that strong foundation in the household. Um, Another one is to dare to dream big. Don't
mm,
ever stop dreaming big, because I know that the older that you'll get, you'll tend to forget these things that you want to do as a child
mm,
because of what pressure is being put on you through life. The older
Mhm.
we get, some of us don't realize this, but I understand that the older that I get, that there's still a child within me that still wants to play, that still
Mhm.
wants to do these things that I was looking back as a kid, but I didn't have the money to do those things. I didn't have I didn't have like no way of making this happen. So what do you think happens to a child that still wants to play but never had the foundation to do anything about it? Like
mm.
if you couldn't do anything about it, I mean, like, yeah, you can ask your mom, your pops if you had that, but if it's still asking you to do these things, you're
Right.
gonna want to go ahead and live it. So I always want my family to go ahead and dream big. Never stop dreaming, because once you have those dreams, that's like a way of Yahweh actually speaking to you. These are things that you want to live out.
Mhm.
Some of us don't realize that, but isn't that how you find your purpose?
Yep.
Your purpose is going to happen through strings of things that you're going to do over time, and that's what's actually going to pull out your strongest strengths. So
Mhm.
mine will be discipline and dreaming big. When I say dream, let your light shine. Don't ever let someone try to dim your light. I don't care how crazy it is. Attempt it. Do it. See if it works out for you. Because sometimes the craziest things you do, they'll call you crazy until it actually works. If you really think about it, they call you crazy until it actually works. Right now, JR mentioned something about being the black sheep of his family. You know why you're the black sheep? Because you are. You're the sacrificial lamb. You're the sacrificial lamb that decided to go another path because you've seen how everyone else did what they were supposed to do. Let's put it like this, JR. If your family did what they were supposed to do, wouldn't you be rich already? Would you still be working? These are things that it makes you wonder. If my family did what they were supposed to do, I would not be doing this. Like, our families were doing things at levels that they could do. Like, when it comes to wealth, I swear wealth is different when it comes to family, because if you think about structure, this is how it's supposed to be. The older generation has the old money. They were supposed to have the homes, the houses built and everything. We keep that at home. Then our generation, when they came in, they have the business. They have the business that we keep afloat. We keep it running. Then when we come in, we bring in some new additions to the business. When it comes to technology, with the cell phones, when it comes to like streaming, we come up with new ideas to build on the business within the family structure. So it's like you're keeping everything in home. So if we did everything as generation happens from generation to generation, we wouldn't need these things, which means that our families are taken care of. That's what Rockefeller did. That's what all these other people did, and I don't think that people really give enough credit to the black sheeps of the families because they feel that, oh, well, that's crazy. Yes, you're going to call it crazy until it works. Your family will look at you different ways because they don't understand like what it is that you're doing. Like for instance, if you're like, say for instance, if you was at your job and you tell your boss, like, yeah, man, I got to get to this podcast. This is like a way for me to pay my bills. I make money off of doing this. They'll call it crazy. Like, bro, that's something that you're doing just for kicks. No, it's not, because you don't understand how it operates. And that goes for like the family members. Family does not understand that because they're saying this is something new that you're doing. My family doesn't understand about trading, so they're not gonna go ahead and ask me. They're just like, oh, he's still doing that trading thing. Yeah, I'm still doing that trading thing. I just don't bring it up. Like, I just don't bring it up because I'm like, I know for a fact that's not something you want. But then one day when I do get everybody together and I'm just like, hey, I made such and such a 250, blah, blah, blah. Now it's like, oh, I want to get in. Well, here's the thing. You can't now. I was like, you can't, because see, now you're not at the foundation I need you to be. I need you to start then, not now. See, now you got to learn from somebody else.
You need people in your life that are gonna think to the degree and the complexities and the thoughts of what you are doing or even considering doing in order to spend time and effort pouring into whoever it is, whether it be friend, family, or someone coming across your path. You're not going to waste your time pouring in your resources, your efforts into someone who thinks that they want to do it because you made $250 in one transaction. It's not going to work. You know what I mean? You know how many people listen, I done showed people. I love this shit. I done showed people statistically numbers on the back end that I shouldn't be showing to nobody, but just because I believe in their potential, I show people. I'm like, yo, this is what I'm doing on TikTok. They see the number, they go, pull me in. Nowhere to be found the following week. Nowhere to be found within 24 to 48 hours. Fuck a week. You know what I'm saying? And it's because people there's no urgency. There's no urgency in wanting more and leveling up. It's what can I do to get through the week, to pay my bills, to put food on the table, and for someone to scratch my back, right?
That's it. They're looking for instant gratification.
Instant gratification.
That instant gratification is what everyone looks for. That's why they don't understand when it comes to trading, or they don't understand the longevity. And that's why I'm saying the black sheep understands that this is my sacrifice. The biggest thing that black sheeps do is they make a sacrifice. So sometimes when I'm saying like, oh, you're sacrificing your family or you're sacrificing something that you're doing, the biggest sacrifice that a black sheep sacrifices is time. It's time away from my family. It's time away from my pleasures and my desires. That's the time that you're giving up, and that's your greatest currency. And people don't understand that because that's the longevity of how it ends up becoming what it is. So, for instance, back in the day, this is what, like you said, I have to find people that understand where I'm coming from. What I found out when I started trading, this was my niche. When I found trading was this for me. People would tell me this. I take 10 cents. Okay. Gentlemen, I want you to hear me on this. I take 10 cents and turn 10 cents into $2.50. The people I will talk to and tell, now mind you, I take 10 cents and turn it into $2.50. I'm clapping for myself because see, I know at a bank won't give you that shit. You can go ahead and have a bank and you can have your money in a bank for 365 days and you barely even won't make that. But you have the ability, and this is why I'm telling you, you have the ability to make $2.50. People will tell me that, oh, I'm not making no money. I'm gonna shift your perspective. What if I made $2.50 10 times? That's $25. This is money that's growing over time. What if I make $25 10 times? $250. What if I make $250? And it keeps going 10 times. But first, you have to have the foundation and discipline enough. And that's why I would start off with everything. This is how, when it comes to discipline, how you do one thing is how you're going to do everything. And if I can't get you disciplined enough for you just to trust that you just took 10 cents and multiplied it into $2.50, then this is not for you, bro. And that right there alone, and I think that people don't understand that you have to be disciplined enough to follow through what it is that you believe in. If you see that this works, you just have to be disciplined enough to do it. Like you said, JR, you have a foundation when it comes to using TikTok, when it comes to using YouTube, when it comes to using social media to get paid. You're staying disciplined to your principles and not diverting from them, and it works. Now, can you multiply it with somebody else to do the same fucking thing? Not come in here and start trying to say, oh, this is what I'm going to do. And that's what family does. Family does this. Anytime we got something that we know we want to work on, the people, Lil Ray, Lil Pookie and them, they know exactly what to say to you to bring you about it like, nigga, why can't y'all just fall in line and do what I'm telling you to do? They won't do it. And then that's the monkey wrench in your shit.
So, and those are the people, right? Those are the people that are currently in the system, in the hamster wheel, running the wheel, literally.
Absolutely. And think about
that's the only time people. That's the only time I'm I'm the black sheep of the family, but I'm stronger than my brother as well. Now let me ask the chat real quick before we get on to this next one. Chat, what are your 2 pillars in foundation, and what are some of your key points under those 2 pillars for foundation? I know you guys are saying you're the black sheep of the family too, and I appreciate that. But why? Why are you the black sheep of the family? What are those 2 pillars? And what are those key points on the foundation? Let me know in the chat down below. And please share it out. Before we get into maintaining strong relationships, we're going to take a quick 5-minute break. And I'm going to start off with this 5-minute video with the 3 requirements of a good relationship. Watch this video, and then we're going to get into maintaining those good relationships. Check this video out.
Instructor said, empty your mind.
Many people, after they've been in a couple for some time, will privately admit that they are, in many ways, frustrated and disappointed by the person they've chosen to share their lives with. If pressed for details, they will have no difficulty coming up with a list. Their partner, they might complain, is too loyal to their irritating family, or doesn't share their views on the layout of the living room, or never wants to go on camping holidays, or plays tennis every Wednesday evening no matter what, or doesn't like Moroccan food, or doesn't share their enthusiasm for 19th century Russian novels, or has a habit of adding actually to every second sentence when it's actually redundant. As the list gets longer, they sigh. They still love their partner and they long to be happy together. It's just that it seems impossibly complicated to make this relationship work. What's driving the frustration is not that they've sadly fallen for an idiot as a mate. It's rather that we have all inherited needlessly complicated ideas of what a relationship is supposed to be for. We are told that love is meant to involve the almost total merger of two lives. We expect that a loving couple must live in the same house, eat the same meals together every night, share the same bed, go to sleep and get up at the same time, only ever have sex with, or even sexual thoughts about each other, regularly see each other's families, have all their friends in common, and pretty much think the same thoughts on every topic at every moment. It's a beautiful vision, but a hellish one too, because it places an impossibly punitive burden of expectation on another human. We feel the partner must be right for us in every way, and if they're not, has to be prodded and cajoled into reform. But there is another perspective. Relationships don't have to be so complicated and ambitious if we keep in view what in the end actually makes them fulfilling. If we boil matters down, there might really just be three essential things that we want from a lover. Firstly, kindness. A partner who is gentle with our imperfections and can good-humoredly tolerate us as we are. Secondly, shared vulnerability. Someone with whom we can be open about our anxieties, worries, and the problems that throw us off balance. Someone we don't have to put on a good front for. Someone around whom we can be weak, vulnerable, and honest, and who will be the same around us. Thirdly, understanding. Someone who is interested in and can make sense of certain obscure features of our minds, our obsessions, preoccupations, and ways of seeing the world, and whom we are excited to understand in turn. If we have these three critical ingredients to hand, we will feel loved and essentially satisfied whatever differences then crop up in 100 other areas. Perhaps our partner's friends or routines won't be a delight, but we will be content. Just as if we lack these emotional goods and yet agree on every detail of European literature, interior design, and social existence, we are still likely to feel lonely and bereft. By limiting what we expect a relationship to be about, we can overcome the tyranny and bad temper that bedevils so many lovers. A good, simpler, yet very fulfilling relationship could end up in a minimal state. We might not socialize much together. We might hardly ever encounter each other's families. Our finances might overlap only at a few points. We could be living in different places and only meet up twice a week. Conceivably, we might not even ask too many questions about each other's sex life. But when we would be together, it would be profoundly gratifying because we would be in the presence of someone who knew how to be kind, vulnerable, and understanding. A bond between two people can be very deep and important precisely because it's not played out across all practical details of existence. By simplifying and clarifying what a relationship is for, we release ourselves from overly complicated conflicts and can focus on our urgent underlying needs to be sympathized with, seen, and understood.
Deciding.
If you're a man, then you've probably heard multiple versions of the following sayings throughout your entire life. Man up.
Many tensions within relationships can usefully be looked at through the prism of a concept much used within psychotherapy, the idea of rupture and repair. For psychotherapists, every relationship is at risk of moments of frustration, or, as the term has it, of rupture, when we suffer a loss of trust in another person as someone in whom we can safely deposit our love and whom we believe can be kind and understanding of our needs. The ruptures are often quite small, and to outside observers, perhaps imperceptible. One person fails to respond warmly to another's greeting. Someone tries to explain an idea to their partner, who shrugs and says offhandedly that they have no idea what they're on about. In front of friends, a lover shares an anecdote which casts the partner in a less than flattering light. Or the rupture can be more serious. Someone calls someone a stupid fool and slams a door. A birthday is forgotten. An affair begins. The point about ruptures is that they say nothing in themselves about a relationship's prospects of survival. There might be constant, rather grave ruptures and no breakup. Or there might be one or two tense moments over a minor disagreement, and then things head towards collapse. So what determines the difference is something that psychotherapists are especially keen to teach us about: the capacity for what they term repair. Repair refers to the work needed for two people to regain each other's trust and restore themselves in the other's mind as someone who is essentially decent and sympathetic and can be a good enough interpreter of their needs. As psychotherapy points out, repair isn't just one capacity among others. It is arguably the central determinant of one's mastery of emotional maturity. It is what identifies us as true adults. Good repair relies on at least 4 separate skills. Firstly, the ability to apologize. A sorry may not be as easy as it sounds, for it isn't just a few warm words one has to say. The true cost is to one's self-love. If one's already on the verge of finding oneself somewhat intolerable, then the call to concede yet another point, to own up to being still more foolish, emotionally unbalanced, controlling, hot-tempered, or vain, can feel like a demand too far. We may opt to dig in and avoid a sorry, not because we're overly pleased with ourselves, but precisely because our unworthiness feels so painfully obvious to us already and lends us no faith to imagine that any apologies we did make could arouse the kind of forbearance and kindness we crave, and yet so badly feel we don't deserve. Secondly, the ability to forgive. There can be equal difficulty around being able to accept an apology. To do so requires us to extend imaginative sympathy for why good people, which includes us, can end up doing some pretty bad things. Not because they are evil, but because they are, in their varied ways, tired or sad, worried or weak. A forgiving outlook lends us energy to look around for the most generous reasons why fundamentally decent people can, at points, behave less than optimally. When this kind of forgiveness feels impossible, therapists speak of a maneuver of the mind known as splitting, a tendency to declare some people to be entirely good and others just as simply entirely awful. In dividing humanity like this, we protect ourselves from what can feel like the impossible dangers of disappointment or grown-up ambivalence. Either someone is pure and perfect and we can love them without reserve, or, quite suddenly, they must be appalling and we can never, ever forgive them. We cling to rupture because it confirms a story which, though deeply sad at one level, also feels very safe. That big emotional commitments are just too risky, that other people can't be trusted, that hope is an illusion, and that we are, basically, all alone. Thirdly, the ability to teach. Behind a rupture, there often lies a failed attempt by one person to teach something to another. There was something that they were trying to get across when they lost their temper or got into a sulk. Maybe something about how to behave around a parent, or what to do about sex, how to approach childcare, or handle money. And yet the effort went wrong, and they forgot all about the art of good teaching, an art which relies to a surprising extent on a degree of pessimism about the ability of another person to understand what we want from them. Good teachers aren't after miraculous outcomes. They know how resistant the human mind can be to new ideas. They swallow a very large dose of pessimism about successful interpersonal communication in order to stay calm and in a good mood around some of the inevitable frustrations of relationships. They don't shout because they didn't from the outset allow themselves to believe in total symmetries of mind. When they're trying to get something across, they don't push a point too hard. They give the listener time and know about defensiveness. And as a fallback, accept that they may have to respect two different realities. They can, in the end, bear to accept that they will always be a bit misunderstood, even by someone.
Ladies, listen up. The video showing the pink salt trick that melts belly fat while you sleep has already passed 20.
I'm sure there's definitely some key points that we can take from those two videos. And one of the things that I got from it is sympathy, understanding, almost like, there has to be a form of communication and a form of a level where you have perspective from both sides of the field. You know what I mean? Especially if you're trying to have a healthy relationship, right? Be more sympathetic towards your significant other, especially when they're expressing themselves in regards to maybe something that you could or can't do better. So
Man.
we lost Serve at the toilet. He's still at the toilet, team.
No, I'm here. I heard that my point that I got across the whole time, I'm looking at the bigger picture. Relationship requires work. Did y'all hear all that? All that I heard was just work. That's all I heard was work. I'm like, okay, I need to have a keen understanding, kindness, and on top of that, what was another? It was what was it? It was shared something. It was okay. So it was kindness,
understanding,
shared understanding,
a shared view.
Shared view. Okay. So that's why I was like, oh my God, this is a lot of work. So in order to keep a relationship healthy, it requires work. And it was the one where he said the teaching moment. The teaching moment means that you have to have patience. It's not something that's just going to happen just because you want it. And if you don't have patience, you could fuck around and lose your partner. I was like, or people for that matter that you're trying to, close a bond, share a bond with.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look at it in terms of just our friendships that we've been able to have over 2 years. What do you think is some of the key points that we can take from those two videos that we apply even in our own friendship, starting with you, Owentia? Understanding.
The perspective point, like, you know what I'm saying? We all basically have a kind of a great grasp and understanding of each other's, personality and perspective of who we are and how we are. I mean, so out of the relationship series that we've been able to carry for that long, is because we understand each other in a way where I know how you operate or what you like, and I know what you don't like, what excites you or what gets you going. You know what I'm saying? And I know what can make you upset and cause you to do, or be in a mind frame of, what you don't like and things like that. So yeah, that's I can see that when it comes down to us as an example.
Serve, how do you taking from those two videos and us maintaining our friendship, what are some of the key points that you could take from those videos that you think we applied together as friends, me, you, and ONTL?
Time, most definitely. Time, I would say time was the biggest one because I got a chance to like learn you brothers, like listen to what it is that you all have to offer. Like, what's your background? Where do you all come from? And listening to you and listening to Juan, it was like, okay, I get where this is coming from. Like learning about Juan being a Gemini and learning how he likes to read books, and while he's reading books, he got like this great understanding. Like the brother's got a very big brain, and he absorbs all this knowledge and he applies it every single day. That's why when you told me the story of the last podcast about how you met certain people, bro, you're amazing. That's why these people reached on out to you to get to know you, because like, dang, bro, you know all this. You know what? Hey, and this is what I need you to do. I need to go ahead and introduce you to da 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 such and such, so you can go and do this. Absolutely. When it comes to you, JR, bro, when it comes to your work ethic, it's like undeniable. Like people have to respect you on your work ethic. So like when I talk about that song, like I said, I listen to Man in the Mirror because I want people to know who I am. What man do I see in that mirror? I see hard work. I see that work ethic where I'm never going to go ahead and just give up. I'm always going to put up a fight. That's like, hell, my name, I have adversity in my name, survival. It's always going to do that. And what I realized about you is that you're always going to level up on yourself. You're always finding a way for you to be better. Hell, you even like constructive criticism. This is one thing I got to applaud you about, brother. Bravo. You will take constructive criticism and then you eat that shit. Like, you don't get mad. It's more so because I know you Puerto Rican. I know how Puerto Ricans get down. Y'all get mad when somebody talk about some shit. But you can take that and you take that constructive criticism and you like, you know what? This is something I need to do.
I'm going to flip it on his head. I'm going to flip it on his head.
And you do. And it's like, when it comes to like producing and listening to music, like you was just asking honest questions and you were building over time because you wanted to learn and understand. So that's something I realized about us. We took time to get to know one another, to find out what it is that we like. We took time to understand, what do we like? What do we hate? What we don't like talking about? I was like, and that's something we had to do over time. Hell, even with me, I see some of myself in you guys when I had left. Like, bro, you got string lights. You got string lights that's in the back. I'm like, you got lights in the back. I know D1 got some lights somewhere over there. And then I'm like,
we got the black lights for sure.
Yeah, then to go ahead and break things down the way how you do, I was like, yeah, that sounds like something I'll go ahead and say. Then when y'all be doing the music, I'm like, man, I already know Survey gonna like this shit. Red light. I'm like, that right there, that lets me know we were paying attention to each other's character and we learned. That's why we still here to this day.
Appreciate y'all, fellas. With that note, really, really quick, I want to break down because you've mentioned this particular song many, many times, and there's something about Man in the Mirror that has resonated with you on other levels. We're gonna play the record for the people in the chat. We're gonna play the record, and then I want to get your perspective on how you dissect the video and the lyrics and how it pertains to today's topic. You ready?
Okay.
All right.
Dance for me, someone said.
Do the same thing, chat. Listen to the song, break down the lyrics, break down the video, and how it pertains to today's topic.
Gracefully, Emily would begin.
Man in the mirror, the man in the mirror. Don't push me to that other limit, nigga. I'm the man in the mirror, the man in the mirror. I might go explode into a killer. I'm the man in the mirror, the man in the mirror. Don't push me to that other limit, nigga. I'm the man in the mirror, the man in the mirror. I might go explode into a killer, huh? How Ice news in my city, boy, we coming up. I ain't worried about haters talking, they know what's up. Cause anybody that want it, I never give it up. And every time that I call them out, I expose a bluff. I'm clearing everything, get out the way. Fair warning to you snitch niggas playing it safe. You don't wanna run that game, we ahead of the race. And then your favorite can't put in your place. You can hear it in my voice, I ain't playing at all. I ain't rapping for a Grammy or a black on the wall. Spit pain for the youth who got attack on the fall. And why the young little niggas get harassed by the law. Niggas say that they loyal, want you spot in his eyes. There's a little bit of hate and a little in mine. I don't trust a single soul, everybody alive. And I can tell in your vibe that you're feeling the fire. I'm in the cage loading up while I'm setting it off. Dream wheels on the road, drive out in the Porsche. Vacate for a minute, come back and they lost. Imagine me and MMG beside a mill in the boss. I could go mainstream, cook it up in the ground. Anywhere I choose to go, they gon' fuck with the sound. Across the state up in the coast, I keep on holding it down. Well equipped, I want my vest and a chair to the crowd. I'm the man in the mirror. The man in the mirror. Don't push me to that other limit, nigga. I'm the man in the mirror. The man in the mirror. I might go explode into a killer. I'm the man in the mirror. The man in the mirror. Don't push me to that other limit, nigga. I'm the man in the mirror. The man in the mirror. I might go explode into a killer, huh? One mic, one army, I'm a vet. R.I.P. to that competition, there's no one left. Tip my scale on the rig, dial open sudden death. Take them out of the picture, you know what's coming next. You ain't about shit stuck in a cave. I generated new fans, I was one of the brave. Rolling Stones in the hood, dug them out of the grave. This generation box, I just started a wave. Architect the blueprint, you could call it designer. Spit the water in the bread, I was on the divider. Take a look up in the mirror, you can see I'm a rider. And loyalty is all I know, I don't fuck with dishonor. This one will leave you broke, shivered outside in the cold. Once the heater was replaced, your heart stopped when it froze. Mama going through some shit, I can't handle the load. I take a look up in the sky and pray the Lord I don't fold. On top of all the bullshit, I got better with age. Took my hustle on the road, wrote it down on the page. Told my lady it's the love that I get on the stage. I upscaled on my views, fuck the minimum wage. See my little sister smile when she travels the world. Born stars like the universe out of this world. Want my kids to be proud when I'm out of this world. And leave a legacy behind when I'm out of this world. I'm the man in the mirror. The man in the mirror. Don't push me to that other limit, nigga. I'm the man in the mirror. The man in the mirror. I might go explode into a killer. I'm the man in the mirror. The man in the mirror. Don't push me to that other limit, nigga. I'm the man in the mirror. The man in the mirror. I might go explode into a killer, huh?
Aki, what's something that you could take from that song that could kind of relate back to what we're speaking about today?
Just understanding like having that purpose and that will to you know what I'm saying, to pick yourself and keep it going, you know what I'm saying, and to trust in yourself and rely on you to know that you're going to get through what it is that you're faced and you know and being up against and things like that. You know, a lot of times I think a lot of us don't realize the importance of just, you know, looking at ourselves in the mirror. Like we move in such a fast-paced world where sometimes we don't stop and just look at ourselves in the mirror and admire what is in front of us or what we see. You know what I'm saying? And what because, you know, we have past, we have experiences that haunt us in a negative aspect, and when we look at ourselves we can see those things jump out first. But when you stay there and then look at the other side, the beautiful side of it, you then realize, you know, who you are in that mirror and what other people see when they see you, because now you see what they see when they see you.
Absolutely. Serve, what can you take from hearing the song again and how it relates to today's episode?
To today's episode, if we're talking about family, is in the beginning. In the beginning, I feel like it's a signature that you show in the very beginning of this video, and you pointed it out to me a long time ago. It's the mask. the mask, when you have it over your face,
Mm-hmm.
for me, that's symbolic for me for every single time I step out of the world. What mask do I have to reveal today? There's a mask that I'm putting on. I'm putting on a front. I'm putting on a front for everybody else, for everyone else. But when I see myself in the mirror, who do I see? When you talk about one mic, one hung, I'm a vet. RIP to the competition. There's no one left. I was like, when you say that, you open the Richter, open sudden death. I'm like, look, when you said that's you, I'm like, no, this is me. I'm going far and beyond all capabilities. This was me. When you said that all I want from my family, he was like, I want to leave is legacy. When I hear man in the mirror, that's my hunger. My hunger, like I am hungry for new challenges, new horizons, but I cannot just keep wearing masks for everyone else to see. I have to see me. When you said, like, man, don't push me to the other limit, nigga, I'm like, you may expose a killer, and that's what it is. That's life. Life is going to challenge you, especially when it's like when you say, I pray the Lord. He was like, I pray the Lord to my mom that the Lord that I'll fold. When you said like your mama can't handle the low, and you pray to the Lord that you won't fold. So that meant like you saw the type of struggles that your mom went through and she endured, and somehow you're saying, if I come up to challenge with that, will I be able to handle it better? Or possibly succeed in that? So that's why I said that song is so symbolic and so like relative towards me, because that was something that helped me get out of a rut. I said, this is who I am. Well, my mother gave me, it's like she gave me one thing before she passed away. She told me, she said, Mikey, whenever it comes to something that you're passionate about, you always come out swinging. And that's truly what it is. And when I came up with survival, when I came up with survival skills, I just made sure I was like, these are the principles I live by: perseverance, purpose, passion, and pain. Those are the 4 reasons why I never complain. Just for perseverance, purpose, passion, and pain. And I live with that. And that's why I said your song always resonates to this day. So, you know, to JC, that's why I really listen to the song. That's why I fuck with his music. like, bro.
4 Easter eggs I want to provide y'all, brothers, if y'all ever watch that video again. When the video first opens up, I have my mask on. That mask is not revealing the killer who I am inside. I'm not revealing that yet, right?
Okay.
As the rest of the video is commencing, I'm standing in front of a mirror, a triangle mirror, mind you, right? And we already know the points of a triangle, how symbolic that is, right? Points of a triangle, I am literally looking at the spitting image of who I am across the mirror. And what I'm saying is, like, I don't even want to be pushed over that limit for me to take out the killer. I don't want to get to that point to have to be presented that way, to be seen. I don't want others to perceive me that way. That's why I have this mask on.
Okay.
Right? I don't want you to see this killer. Another Easter egg that's in there is, as if you notice, what I'm doing is, you see a physical athlete working out, but the interpretation of what I was trying to provide is, I want you to perceive that athlete as though that's my mind working out.
Okay.
And I want my mind to work in a way where it's providing me a sentiment of progress, of overcoming obstacles, of facing challenges, and physically and mentally breaking through those challenges. That was the perspective and the perception of me utilizing that athlete to showcase that. At the very end of the video, when you see me drop the last mirror that I was holding in the beginning that showed my mask, and it breaks into pieces, that's me letting the audience know I have finally let go of my past, and I have finally let go of my demons, and I have finally let go of this monster, the killer inside me. That's me letting it go.
You shattered the chain. You broke the chain.
I broke the chain. Yeah. So when you watch that video again, and you look at the video again, and then you listen to the lyrics, and you put it all together, there's more to that video than meets the eye.
I like that.
I appreciate that, Aki. Yeah, that's pretty dope.
Yeah, bro. Because I was like, there's some stuff I was like, because when you broke it down, I was like, you know what? Now that I think about it, I never understood why the athlete was there. And that really got, I was like, oh, okay, now I get it. I'm like, that makes sense.
That's my mind working. That's my mind working through the certain phases and the certain trials and things that are being. Those are the obstacles. As you see him, he's living. He's doing the pull-ups. He's doing the traces of the runs. You know what I mean? Like he's working out. He's doing this. He's doing that. That's my mind overcoming each obstacle that I'm facing.
Yeah, you got it. You did that, bro.
Yeah. That's what. So the next time you guys watch that video, you're gonna learn something brand new from it. Brand new.
Just from that perspective of what we've talked about family and foundation, those are obstacles that you're going to overcome. You're going to get the naysayers. You're going to get people that just don't agree with you as much as they want to. They just don't agree with you because honestly, they know your history. And that's the problem. The problem is they know your history. So there's no growth there. Well, here's the thing. We all mature over time. What you know is the person I used to be. You don't know the new me. I mean, like, I've been gone for 2 years. And with me being gone away from you guys, you all didn't stop. I was like, you didn't stop. You still kept growing. You started doing other things and you still learning. I'm like, I can go back to when we was like, you know what, JR, like, we just gonna go ahead and do the music. We just gonna go ahead and do the Truth Nation center stage. And then we're just gonna stick with that. And then I remember when we were brainstorm. Y'all remember that? I was like, we were brainstorming together. Then all of a sudden it was like, we should come up with a podcast. I'm like, I ain't say nothing about that. Y'all came up with that. So I'm like, okay, so they came up with that. And then it was like, what's something else we should go ahead and add to this? You know what? We could go do something else. What we made this live. Let's go ahead and make it where people get like 15 minutes of fame and they can do that. I'm like, this is getting better. I'm like, okay, what else can we do? I remember when it wasn't that. And now I'm looking at I go to TikTok. I see my man doing battles. I don't know what that shit is, but I'm like, I like this. I'm like, protect the Nuggies. I'm like, hell yeah, protect the Nuggies. Put some money in there to protect them Nuggies. I don't know what this shit is, but I was like, I want to protect the Nuggies. And I was like, oh my God, that's growth. So you all never stop growing. So yes, so I do relate that towards what we have talked about today. That yes, you're going to overcome some obstacles. There's going to be some foundation that you need with your family, especially even for your newfound family members. Even if, blood does not tie you guys, it still means that you took time. You took time to go and develop this.
Man, y'all my family right here, man. Y'all my brothers, man. I don't think I could be doing a podcast with anybody else or speaking and having these moments with anybody else, especially when it comes down to me and my vocabulary and the way I speak. You know what I mean? Like there's not a lot of people who would be able to tolerate and deal with that. Some people definitely, I know, it's weird because people like to read me. One thing I've noticed about that is people like to read me, and then because they can't read me or they don't understand anything about me, it makes them already frown up and stuff like that. So
they can do a lot better by just learning from you, Aki.
Man, I promise you that's the best way to do it. That's the best way to do it. Don't try to understand me. Just
try to understand the boy. Just learn.
Just learn it because that's just what it is. And and you two are the same way. You know what I mean? Like that. I noticed that's the only people that I kind of keep around me is people who are like me, who, you would have to really try to just learn from them instead of trying to understand them, because we can talk to you all day long about how we think, how operate, what we see, what some of our aspirations are. But if you're not actually following us or doing exactly how we do it, you won't understand it, and it'll make you a little jealous.
And for me, I prefer to understand how you guys feel, how you maneuver, the things you say, and the things you do, and then I take that and I apply it in my life and in my journey. And with me applying it in my life and my journey, That's me taking a piece of each of you brothers and understanding, taking
Yes.
it in and understanding. You know what I mean? Very powerful stuff. What would be, Aki, starting with you, what would be the strongest case to maintain a strong relationship? What does that look like for you? What would be the strongest key point to maintain a strong relationship?
It would have to be just the ability to enter and understand, Aki. I mean, when it comes down to relationships, is we can communicate all day long, but what in that communication, you
Are
know,
they really listening?
are you listening? Do you understand? Can you read between the lines? Are you able to pick up what I'm putting down? Are you able to grasp on? Does it make you have questions? Does it help elevate you? You know what I'm saying? Does it not elevate you? Like, I need to know certain things. You know, and a lot of times what I like is, for me, I'm an intellect. And so if we can connect kinetically,
Intellectually, right? Yeah.
intellectually, kinetically, without even having to say much, that's like a huge thing for me, you know what I mean? Because it's the relationship is just like, we ain't got to say much. We just immediately understand by just a look or by a gesture, by a certain movement, you know, like boom, oh, okay, I see what you're doing now. All right, for sure. And then you fall right in line to it. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
that's the type of connection, bro, is top
Adaptation.
tier, bro. It's
Adaptation.
top tier, bro.
They know how to adapt. Sir, same question, sir. What are some key points to maintaining a strong relationship?
Mine, because I don't want to go ahead and repeat the same thing you all said, because it already ties. Like, you all are saying things that I know for a fact I would piggyback off of, but
Absolutely.
that's what it is. It is. So what I'm going to add to that, I'm going to say loyalty. Loyalty is very hard to come by, and sometimes you got a lot of people. You know, how does that first go? You're gonna learn some crooked ways, and you're gonna learn about crooked ways and crooked crosses. It was something I heard from a long time ago, and I was saying loyalty is so hard to come by because you have a lot of people that will jump ship. They will jump ship. Like, it's like they listen to you, but then after they go to somebody else. And you have to understand that loyalty happens over time. You know, they say progress is a process, and that's a part of the progression. It's like you have to be there over time. Yes, you have to have understanding, but you have to be here for a certain amount of time to gain that type of trust. Because if you do not take that proper time, then it's never going to build. Like, there may be a relationship that's going to take some time because you've been there, because that person could not get back to you at the time they needed to. You feel like I need it right now, but they can't get to you right now because this is what they're focused on. Once they get some time to free up, then that's what it is. Especially if it's about business. You may look at it like, man, I need this opportunity. I want this opportunity, but there's a reason why it's still taking time for it to happen. Maybe there's something that you don't know yet. Yeah, maybe there's something that you haven't worked on for this to happen. You know, what if you finally get that shot and that opportunity? Now you've asked for it, it comes to you, like God puts it up there on a silver platter. You get it. Now what do you do? Right. Oh,
you fumble.
Yeah. So now what was the whole thing? Like, damn, man, now I need another what if you don't get that chance again?
Right.
So relationships, it requires loyalty.
Love that. Love that, brothers. Love that.
Yes, definitely.
You got something to say? I give my back.
No, I was just gonna say, man, those are key, excellent points when it comes down to relationship, and you know, I feel like we've all hit those. We've all been able to speak from our experiences within our relationship with each other, and the relationships we have beyond each other. You know,
oh yeah,
we because we all have our all have our different relationships beyond each other, and what we have here, because what we have here is a brother relationship, but more in the business, on the business brother side.
Right.
and then we have our individual relationships when it comes down to our families and our significant others and things like that. And and a lot of our relationships have to be fostered in nature and nurtured in the same manner. You know what I'm saying? And because that's what the nature of a relationship is everything has to be something towards relating. There has to be a relating point between me and you in order for us to extend our ability to be loyal to each other, to be trustworthy to each other, and to be able to count on each other for when times are hard.
Yeah, and when those things occur, that's when the friendship and the value of the friendship is tested, right? Yeah. It's when all those things occur, good and bad. Are you there? You know what I mean? And when you're there, are you offering? Whatever that looks like, to each individual. Because your circumstance, if something was to happen in your life, Aki, and you were to call me, my response to it is going to be somewhat different than Survival's response to it, or it may be the same, right? It could be the same, right? And if it's the same action that me and Serv takes, there's probably still going to be some slight difference in how much we pour into that action, whatever that looks like, right? But the result, the hope of the result, is that that there's a solution to those issues. That's the hope. There will always be a solution to those issues, which I want to take that and grab strong relationships and go right into our last piece, the nature of that responsibility, the nature of responsibilities. When I'm going to tell you this, I'm going to grasp it with one simple notion of the way I look at everything in a big picture. My friendships to you guys, my relationship to my family, my relationship to business with all of you, whether it be directly or indirectly, and my stewardess towards the community and the agency I've created. It reminds me of the old saying when we watch fucking Spider-Man. You have the greatest responsibility.
Great responsibility. With great power comes great responsibility.
Great power comes great responsibility. I take on that cape, and I say, I don't mind taking on that responsibility. I understand the notion of that responsibility. I take it on head on, and I do what I must with that. And that's another piece of the fuel to the fire that keeps me progressively going up, because in my mind, my responsibility is to reach to the fucking moon, to be able to come back and land, to then put y'all on the shuttle so y'all can reach the moon and come back and land, if you get my drift.
Yep. If there was ever someone like you said, like
the homies can't have none.
Listen,
that's right. Like for me, that's like if someone ever said, like, okay, so who's the leader of Unified Media? If anyone ever said that there was a leader, I'm gonna go ahead and pass the torch to you, because you always wanted to keep things together. I know my role in this. My role is always gonna be, I'm gonna be the most hated. I'm the villain in most people's stories, and I don't mind it. I'm the villain, and I was like, and people don't understand when I say that.
That's what's this boy from Golden State Warriors? Something Green.
Oh, Draymond Green. He's Draymond Green.
That's Draymond right there. That's Draymond. They hate that boy.
For me, I'm always gonna be, because like when you think about it, if we go to Unified Media, if we go and go back to the podcast, I'm like, damn. I'm like, we go to the pod, like if we go not to the podcast, if we go to Center Stage, damn, I'm the dude that's giving people lights. Oh, they gonna hate me. I was like, but I put that cape on. When it comes to like the group, there's been times where like, damn, bro, I'm not even a rapper and people are beefing with me because of what I said. Damn, how y'all sensitive? I'm like, am I the villain in this story? And you know what? That's why I said, because I know if I was the leader of the group, man, drop these motherfuckers off. We don't need them. Let them go. And that's me. And I said, like, see, I can wear that now because that is my honesty. I'm like, oh man, fuck them. We don't need them. Like, drop them off when you match them. Like, were you laughing? Like, were you mad at man? I'm like, I don't care. And I can say that now because I know me, and that's truly being me to understanding. Like, okay, so we were talking about, like, when I mentioned about loyalty, and I'm gonna mention someone, and hey, if he feels some type of way, he feels some type of way, even though I don't follow him. There was a person where you had mentioned to D1, what does it mean like to help out someone in a situation? Well, this particular person needed funds to fund his career. He had funds to fund his career. And around that time, I was like, you know what, bro? I believe in you. And I don't really do this off of people that I just know on the internet. I'm like, I don't really do this for a lot of people. But I believe in you. I gave him the money to go ahead and put up for whatever he needed to be on this radio station. There's a Storm Radio. And he took that as and like, yeah, this is my boy. I really feel Serve's gonna do this for me. He got my back and da 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 da. Okay, well, maybe you don't understand where my loyalty is coming from. My loyalty is that I understand you, but there's certain tolerance of what's building up here. There's certain tolerance that I'm listening to your music. I feel like your music is inadequate. As a friend, I have to be honest. It's not hitting. It's not hitting. You want me to like it. I was like, you want me to like it, but I can't like it because I don't hear anything in it. You get mad at me because I'm listening to someone else that actually has some type of substance, some type of foundation. It doesn't matter about how many songs you make. It's like, what's quality? I was like, I'm looking for quality. I'm not looking for quantity. You can have probably 5 smash hit songs and that shit's gonna go places. I was like, I want to see, like, if you're saying I'm your friend, I'm gonna tell you like it is. We had a fallout because I told it like it is. That shit whack. That's it. That shit's whack. I need you to find something else. Okay, you feel like you better than him? Then go ahead and prove to it. Prove to that man with some real bars. Spit some shit. I was like, you a freestyler? Go ahead and show me some freestyle shit that will really body that man and make that man respect you. And that's all it was. And I was like, and I'm thinking, as family, I can do that as family. I'm telling you something. I'm giving you constructive criticism. But you know what I got? I got clapback. Oh, I know what I'm doing.
Everybody wants you to, everybody loves honesty until you're honest about them.
And that's true. And that's why I said, so in my mind now, in this world we live in, I don't think you want my honesty. You want me to lie to you. You love the lies that I spew at you, but you hate the fabric. You hate if I go and tell you honesty.
You ever heard this one? You ever heard this one, brothers? Man, I ain't fake. I'm real. I don't like fake people. Well, you're not gonna like me when I tell you the truth, neither.
Right.
So you don't and then they get fake with you. You know what I mean? Like,
the bullshit.
Like, and it's like, what do I do with this? And that's what I was like, because I lost a lot of people. That's why I said I burn bridges with people, and I get why. It's because I'm being honest. I was like, so really they're not my friends because I have to put a mask on just to stay relevant to you. But as soon as I reveal exactly what I'm feeling,
I'll tell you what, sir. You were meant to burn those bridges and build new ones.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Oh, absolutely.
Those bridges were meant to be burnt and left behind to build new ones. We grab new tools, right? We grab new tools. We'll grab some new resources, some new connections, some new hands, and we build again. And when we build the bridge, after we build the bridge, go ahead, Aki. Break it down.
We don't connect back to them old burnt bridges.
That done. It's over with. That's
burned down. They done.
They done. That's why us three, it only take you and 2 bad motherfuckers to take over the world. That's it. That's all you need. That's all you need. Count them on one hand. 2. Let's go it. Let's knock this shit out the park.
Because if you think about it, man, the less is more. Like they say in the music, the less you have in there, the more simpler it is, the better the song is gonna come out to be. The bit, you know. And if you got three people who all have the same type of ambition and drive, you can't stop them. That's three forces. That's 3. You know what I'm saying? And they always say, when there's more, when they're gathered in 3 or more, you know, that's the almighty power that's right there in the presence. So
definitely,
you can't stop that force.
Definitely. Powerful episode today, fellas.
Man.
Unified Media Podcast, Family and Foundation. We touch based on what family means to us, the structures, the pillars, and the key points under those structures of foundation. What it takes to not only have and create strong relationships, but to maintain strong relationships, and then the nature of responsibilities. Before I let you brothers go, give me 2 responsibilities you can never turn your back on. I'll start with my 2. I'll never turn my back on my children. And I will always be loyal to you if you're loyal to me. Yeah.
I think that's one of my minds too, is the loyalty thing. Like, as long as you stay loyal to me, I'm gonna always be loyal to you. And and then the biggest responsibility that I have is to instill in my family, my household, my immediate household, the importance of loyalty, respect. Because at the end of the day, that's what I want them, and I have it tatted on my skin for a reason. But at the end of the day, that's what we need, because the more people you have that are loyal and respect you, but are loyal to you, and that can maintain that. That's where your generational wealth comes in.
Powerful stuff. Love that. Serve. 2 points.
My number one priority is family. Priority 1 is to protect my family. My second is to subdue. Now, I don't know what everybody else thinks of subdue, but subdue is to unravel the chaos and frustration that's in it. I plan on subduing anything and everything that comes with family. I was like, and subdue, you have to subdue a lot of things in your life. I want to subdue frustration that's in my family. I want to subdue the craziness that, crazy obstacles that we'll overcome. I want to subdue like the madness that happens around it. There's going to be times where you may become greedy. You have to subdue that. There may become times where I have friends that I can't be around. I have to subdue that. And I'm subduing this to provide foundation and identity. Like I'm doing this to create. I'm doing this to create a road. I'm creating a road, so therefore we will have a straight and narrow, because that's what it is. Your version of subduing something is just to provide structure. You don't want to have confusion in your family. So as long as you subdue these things, subdue your friends, subdue your family, like that's a part of what we said, D1, about discipline, making sure that your kids understand that. Subduing, what is a young man supposed to do? Subdue. What is a young lady supposed to do? Subdue. What is your wife supposed to do? How are you going to love on someone? So my major 2 keys are priority 1, protect your family, and to subdue.
Powerful. So if you did not tap in today, please grab this link, share it out to your friends and family, and to those who will find this information useful. You brothers have a wonderful Sunday evening. Have a productive and safe week. We're going to touch base. We're going to phone call, 1 text away. I appreciate y'all wisdom. y'all love and support. And I'm sending nothing but great energy and prosperity and abundance to you and your families. I'll see you guys next Sunday.
Yes, sir.
All right, brothers.
See you. Be safe out there.
And shout out to Unified Media tapping in, everybody from TikTok, Aaron Fallon, Emmy, Keanu, and everybody else. Appreciate y'all.
Yes, sir.